Arsenal's hopes of successive Premiership titles had slipped through their fingers, but they were keen to end their league campaign with a flourish against Southampton in what was a dress rehearsal for the FA Cup final. The Gunners had at one stage led the Premiership by 8 points, but an 8-point United surprise win at Highbury a few days earlier had ensured that the Championship returned to Manchester United. There were surprise inclusions in the starting lineup for Thierry Henry and Robert Pires. Patrick Vieira, Freddie Ljungberg and Larum were out injured, Sol Campbell was suspended, and Gilberto, Martin Keown and Ashley Cole rested, so there was an opportunity for England under-21 winger Jermaine Pennant to impress. For 11th place Southampton, a chance to climb the table, finish of 10th. But Gordon Strachan's men possibly feared a backlash following Arsenal's disappointment. The Saints made 5 changes from the team that drew against Bolton. Chris Marsden, Matt Oakley and Klaus Lundekvam were missing, and leading goalscorer James Beattie and goalkeeper Antti Niemi were rested. Uriah Rennie was the man in charge. The commentator is Alan Parry.
So here we go then, in a game that is going to be played in a somewhat unreal atmosphere. But the Arsenal fans not quite sure what to think at the moment. Kevin Davies getting his opportunity, and there's a young man making his first team bow tonight. Ryan Gary playing at left back for Arsenal, wearing number 40. Telfer with a long throw into the penalty area, headed on by Tessem, and a good early take by yet another of the well, not exactly new faces, but Stuart Taylor replacing the more experienced David Seaman. Parler wears the captain's armband for Arsenal tonight and wins the first free kick, fouled by Kevin Davies. A new look back four for Arsenal tonight, with Stepanovs and Luzhny in the centre, the young man Gary at left back getting the ball there, and Toure at right back. Pires, one of the few famous faces, still in the lineup and on the ball now. Luzhny, who was criticised by many for his performance against Leeds at the weekend. And Toure has given the ball away here. This is Prutton, a young man signed from Nottingham Forest on transfer deadline day. And Svensson lining up the long-range effort. Scored 4 goals this season. Anders Svensson, the Swedish international, who's been a fixture in Southampton's midfield. And in fact has scored twice in his last 4 games. Hence the confidence to try from that range. And an opportunity straight away for Taylor to show his worth against Joe Tessem. And that was a good save. Tessem knows he should have scored there. A very direct ball to beat the Arsenal defence. Paul Jones knocking it long. Luzhny, for some inexplicable reason, let it run on, and then Stepanovs didn't do much better. Excellent save, and then a wild effort by Fabrice Fernandes. And the youngster Gary receiving some applause from the fans there for that spirited interception. Pires. Now he's caught a late challenge from the other Svensson. Pennant trying to pull away from Higginbottom, but it's come back into midfield. Nakano, a lovely ball for Parler, chance here! What a very good save by Paul Jones, but the rebound is swept in by Pires. 1-0 Arsenal. That'll make them feel a little bit better. Not him though. He made a splendid save in the first place to deny Parler, but Pires wasn't going to be beaten on the rebound. Pennant. Parler dispossessed by Joe Tessem. This is Fernandes, who should have given his side the lead with that early opportunity. But now it's Arsenal in front and attacking strongly again. Well, he was unlucky there, Pennant. Just slipped at the vital moment. Certainly got huge talent, but it's as yet been unfulfilled here. Now Bridge for Southampton, looking to return it, and it's a lovely ball for Davis. Well, that's 2 occasions already now in 12 minutes where Arsenal's defence has been all over the place with a simple ball down the centre, and twice their goalkeeper has had to come to their rescue. Oh, what a great ball that is. Jones having to come all the way against Henry, who returns it. Not quite with interest. Very difficult angle. Well, I suppose Jones will feel he had to come and do this because where on earth were his central defenders? He was a long way out, the Southampton keeper. Fortunately for him, so was Thierry Henry. Otherwise, he would have added to his impressive total for the season. Bridge. Straight to Toure. Fouled by Tessem. Arsenal have won 14 of their 18 home games in the Premier League. The only teams who managed to avoid leaving empty-handed: Blackburn, 2-1 winners. Then Liverpool and Manchester United drew here before Leeds' 3-2 victory on Sunday. Fernandez dispossessed by Van Bronckhorst. Onto Parler and now to Cardew. Back again to the Dutchman. A lovely skill by Cardew. Oh, crowd enjoyed that. Thierry Henry tries to slip it into Van Bronckhorst, and he sets up Pennant! A big moment for Jermaine Pennant. The 20-year-old gets his first ever senior goal for Arsenal. Created by the more experienced men around him, but finished in very impressive style. Cardew, Henry, Van Bronckhorst, all involved, but a sweet finish by Jermaine Pennant. And Gordon Strachan, looking somewhat smarter than the usual tracksuit attire on the touchline. Wonders where it's all started to go wrong. And even the youngster Gary fancies joining in the attacking mood. Oh, it's a poor clearance by Jones, and this time it almost was returned with interest on this occasion by Cardew. Well, he's been all over the place, Paul Jones. He made one good stop, although even that led to a goal, but he's made a couple of wild decisions since then, including that one. He got a hand to that, but he couldn't keep it out. And Pennant, who had never scored in senior football before tonight, has now scored twice in 2 minutes, and it's 3-0 to Arsenal. Not a flicker of emotion from Arsene Wenger. Again, Cardew and Henry involved. That took a deflection. It was unlucky for the keeper, but Pennant coming in from that right-hand side proved to be the man in the right place at the right time again. Southampton are all over the place, and unimportant or not in terms of their league position, Gordon Strachan will be furious, and when Strachan's furious, you better watch out. Williams has conceded a free kick here. So Pennant, remarkably, is on a hat-trick. And we're only a quarter of the way through the game. Perez to Parler. Oh, lovely layoff by Cardew. Thierry Henry onto Perez! It's 4. It's embarrassing for Southampton. 4 goals and Henry hasn't scored one of them. What's going on? Polite applause rather than joyous celebrations in the stands. But nonetheless, what a way to get the weekend out of your system. A much-changed Arsenal team has come here tonight and shown no after effects whatsoever of their 3-2 defeat against Leeds. They've got to get their act together here, Southampton. That's a better ball. Bridge. Psychologically, the effect of getting such a hammering against what amounts to with due respect, virtually an Arsenal reserve team, with one or two notable exceptions. Well, that's not the preparation you want for an FA Cup final. Fernandes with the corner. And a chance for Southampton to get one back. Not the best effort by Svensson, and it's broken to Pires, who's also on a hat-trick now, of course. A lovely ball. Henry, outrageous skill from Thierry Henry. Oh, magnificent stuff. Here's Pennant, and that's 3. What a story for Jermaine Pennant. A hat-trick in 25 minutes. Can you believe it? And still, not even the suggestion of a smile from the manager. But a huge grin for this young man. Five goals for Arsenal already. 3 of them scored by a youngster who's hardly had a sniff of first-team football all season. And what an impressive finish that was. Henry almost inevitably played a part in it. He's got to get a goal tonight, surely, hasn't he? Well, this is amazing. And Southampton, in the aftermath, have made their change. Chris Bird, who's only 21, a defender. He's only made 1 appearance in the first team so far. That was in the last 5 minutes as a substitute against Aston Villa back in March. He's come on for Fabrice Fernandes. I can only assume he was injured. Looks bemused. I don't know about anything else. And it's turning into a rout. Lujny going in, cleared by Gary. That could have been a real comic book goal, that. And Williams is going chasing every ball down, and he's done well in the end. He's the centre half, remember. Oh, what a strange night this is at Highbury. Jermaine Pennant was an absolutely outstanding youngster, and I mean youngster. I think he made Notts County's first team when he was only 15. Arsenal signed him up. A host of clubs were looking at him. He got his England under-21 honours very soon in his career, and this is the best night of his career as Touré goes forward and Pennant almost got on the end of that as well. Everything's falling his way. Touré. Parla. This is Gary. It's come back towards Thierry Henry. Headed away by the young substitute Chris Bird. And here's Ryan Gary again. He's not going to be on the fringe of this for long, is he, Thierry Henry? You could bet decent money on him getting a goal, I would think. But he has proved already what a fantastically gifted all-round player he is. 5 goals for Arsenal, and he must have had a hand in 4 of them. Bridge for Southampton. They really look as though they don't know what's hit them. They've only ever won 2 matches at Highbury in their entire history, and I don't think that statistic's going to change tonight. Bridges' cross is a good one, though, and a fine finish this time by Joe Tessem. Well, at least they've made some contribution to the first half. Very good ball in by Wayne Bridge. That's what he's applauding, and almost sarcastic applause from their supporters. Wonderful ball by Bridge. Pinpointed it to Tessem on the far post. 5-1. Who said this would be a boring fixture? Anything but. Van Bronckhorst to Pires. And the skills of Thierry Henry being displayed again. The end of a remarkable first 45 minutes at Highbury, with Arsenal banishing any thought of a hangover from their disappointment of the weekend. It's been very much a therapeutic first half for Arsenal and their supporters. They're feeling a whole lot better now, going in at half-time with a 5-1 lead. Arsenal get the second half underway, close to one of their best ever Premiership victories. 6-1 against Middlesbrough a few years ago. It was one of their highest ever scores in the league. And they only need one more to equal that. It's been a very professional and very impressive performance by Arsenal in the light of the huge setback on Sunday, just 4 days ago. Southampton, I'm afraid to say, it's not been terribly professional from their point of view. And they're going to have to do a lot better in this second half. Taylor takes another ball impressively. He's done well whenever he's been called upon tonight. Oh, a mistake by Telford has left Pires in for the cheekiest goal of the night. Supreme skill to complete his hat-trick. What a fabulous, fabulous finish by Pires. Well, that will go down as one of the most audacious goals of the season. A bad mistake by Telford in the first place, but then there was still so much to do for Pires. 2 hat-tricks, Pennant and Pires. Wonderful. And that makes, 15 goals for him now this season. And now even Wenger can afford a smile. Wayne Bridge. And that's gone out for a throw to Arsenal. Well, one game of football is always very different to another, so what happens tonight will have no bearing whatsoever on the FA Cup final, I'm sure. But nonetheless, what a marvellous psychological boost this has been for Arsenal, and what a damaging blow for Southampton. Svensson. Good effort. And pushed out. Oh, what a miss by his namesake. Well, he doesn't need me to tell him that it should now have been 6-2. Fine effort in the first place by Anders Svensson. But the follow-up shot was awful. Henry's in the mood now. He's got rattled by what's happened recently, and you can tell. Kanu. Good effort. Here's Thierry Henry again. What an effort that was. Paul Jones tested twice in a matter of seconds. Any thought of writing off this Arsenal squad of players is premature, to say the least. They'll be back challenging again for that major honour next season. Of that, there's no doubt. Telfer finds Davis. Not the worst ball in. Not the best effort by Wayne Bridge. Toure turning it behind for a corner. One of the few flowing moves that Southampton have put together tonight. They're only away wins so far at Villa, West Ham and Sunderland, and they've lost 4 of the last 5 on the road, Southampton. Tessem going in with the goalkeeper, comes out to Telfer and turned towards goal by Tessem, who claimed it had gone in, but he was wrong. Must have been Gary, I think, who got it away. Davis, he's had a very disappointing night. And we might see exactly who did clear this. Ball knocked in by Telfer, and it was the youngster Ryan Gary on the line who got it away. Kanu. Couldn't find Bergkamp, but Pennant does. Scored his first Highbury goal at the weekend after getting 6 all in away games. Parla. Tennant again, just dropping his shoulder and making space. Still in play, remarkably. Svensson. Oh dear. It has been that kind of night for Southampton. And the possession continues to be the lion's share of it anyway with Arsenal. Here's Thierry Henry. And he got annoyed with Higginbottom this time, having had his little tete-a-tete earlier with Williams, who's getting involved again. Well, I suppose it was inevitable. You can't go around shoving people into the crowd like this, but you do wonder what kind of protection the referees afforded him tonight. Still, I don't think he can argue about that yellow card. That was foolish on Henry's part and unnecessary. Wayne Bridge. Well, Stuart Taylor's not had too many first-team opportunities at Arsenal, although he did actually get a championship medal last season. He played enough games so to do, but this must be one of the quietest first-team matches he's ever appeared in terms of how little he's had to do, that is. Arsenal 6, Southampton 1. They meet again on Saturday week in the FA Cup final. Here's Beattie. Looking for Tessem again. It's come back to Beattie. Well, he might have added to his impressive total then, but it was a fine save by Taylor. I was just saying what a quiet night it's been for him, so that really underlines what a great save it was. Goalkeepers will always tell you that they love the games where they're active and involved all the time. They hate the games where it is so quiet and where they're suddenly called upon like this. Chip forward to Beattie again, and he's missed once more. Well, it just shows you what he's made of, actually. He's only been on the field, what, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and he's had 2 goal-scoring opportunities. All right, he's missed them, but as the old adage goes, you've got to be there to miss them. Actually, that is a bad miss by his standards. The first one you couldn't fault him for, it was a great save, but that one he should have tucked away without doubt. Here's Telfer. Deep into stoppage time now. Tessem. And Bird. Oakley with lots of room. Clearance by Toure. This is probably the longest spell of possession Southampton have had in the whole game, and it's come in stoppage time. Away by Tavlaridis. It's come to Henry. He's absolutely wonderful the way he does this, isn't he? Almost dances his way past players. Referee's had a look at the watch. Well, it'll be a night when a lot of, well, let's be honest, unknown Arsenal names to the rest of the country and the rest of the world will never forget. Youngsters who've come on and made their debuts, got their first goals in Pennant's case, and a name that is known across the football world has produced some marvellous moments, Thierry Henry. And it's all over. Arsenal's final game of the season here at Highbury has ended like so many before in a victory, a thumping victory. No clues here to the outcome of the FA Cup final on May the 17th, but the psychological advantage very definitely belongs to Arsenal. 6-1 winners.
So Arsenal, who'd surrendered their title with a 3-2 home defeat against Leeds, had some consolation courtesy of that glorious performance. They went on to beat Southampton again in the FA Cup final thanks to a Robert Pires goal and improve upon their highest ever Premiership